I've always been into online gaming. Pretty much every day I'll come home from school and log on to Sleepywood or RuneScape or whatever. Weekends too. June turned 3 last year. I was pretty unhappy at school. I don't know, it was just a bad time for me. I didn't do as well as usual with my schoolwork. And playing online games with other people made me feel good. My parents kept telling me to study more and spend less time on computer games, but you know, it was a way to escape all the crap going on in my life. Most games allow you to send messages to other players, and sometimes you start a private chat with other players to, discuss cheats, tips, strategies, that kind of stuff. I got to know this guy who was pretty much obsessed with RuneScape like me. He lived in a different city, but we became mates, And we'd meet in private chat rooms quite regularly because I told him how I was a bit depressed about stuff. It just felt nice having someone who knew how I felt and respected how I felt about school and how the kids were giving me a hard time. We got to know each other pretty well, and we exchanged mobile numbers and email addresses. So when Mum and Dad would kick me off the computer or make me go to bed, I could still text him. He started to ask me some really personal things, and to be honest, I didn't think it was that strange because we'd become such good mates. I guess it just felt nice having someone who knew how I was feeling. When the school holidays started, he suggested we should finally meet. He asked his mum if I could stay over, and she said it was fine and that she would buy the plane ticket. His parents seemed so cool compared to mine. I packed an overnight bag and went to the airport without telling my parents. When I got off the plane at the other end, he texted me to say we should meet at this hotel instead. I didn't even stop to think it was weird, but I should have. Luckily, I never made it to the hotel, because I was intercepted by the police. My parents had worked out what had happened and had called them straight away. It turned out my friend, who I thought was the same age as me, was actually a 40-year-old man. Looking back on it all now, I realize how crazy what I did was. I should have never have assumed that this guy was who he said he was, and I should have been more careful of how much personal information I gave about myself. You wouldn't tell a stranger in the street that sort of stuff, so telling someone online is no different. The good thing about making online friends is that you always have the power. If you don't like what someone says, or if a conversation becomes dodgy, you can ignore or block them, or report them to the chat room administrator, or just log off altogether. And if you ever feel worried about anything, there are people that you can call that can help you. There's the reach out counselors or the net alert helpline. At the time when I met my so-called friend online, I was so angry about the things going on in my life that I didn't even stop to think why he was being so nice to me, or that he could be a 40-year-old man. But no matter how you're feeling, you've always got to stay tuned into the other people in the chat room, the sort of questions they're asking and why someone might show extra interest in